Yate, hello. My name is Taylor Butterfield, and today I'd like to share my global internship experience in Kyoto, Japan. More importantly, I'd like to share how traveling across the world helped me better understand my own culture and the values that continue to shape the person I hope to become. Growing up as a Navajo woman, or Dene, I was raised with teachings that continue to guide how I approach life. The first teaching is called Sa Nagai Bike Hojon, which often translates to walk in beauty or to live a long life in happiness, balance, and harmony. It teaches us to live respectfully, maintain balance with ourselves, our communities, nature, and the world around us. The second teaching is Ta Ho Aje Adego, which means if it is to be, it is up to me. It reminds us that while others may support us, our future is ultimately shaped by our own effort, responsibility, determination, and willingness to keep moving forward. Before leaving for Japan, I carried both of these teachings with me, although I didn't realize how much they would influence my internship experience. Because when I arrived in Kyoto, I immediately noticed similarities between Japanese culture and the values I grew up with. I saw people treating shared spaces with care and respect. I experienced a workplace where humility, discipline, patience, and teamwork were often valued over individual recognition. Whenever I visited temples and shrines where reflection and mindfulness were part of everyday life, and the more time I spent in Japan, the more I realized that although our cultures develop independently and differently, they both emphasize harmony, respect, gratitude, and responsibility toward others. And honestly, that realization made me feel connected not only to Japan, but also to my own identity. And at the beginning of my internship, I set one goal for myself, and that was to step outside my comfort zone and become a more confident leader and communicator. And as an exercise science major pursuing athletic training, having the experience to work at Ciee was completely outside my comfort zone, and as well as my academic background. I knew this experience would challenge me, but I also knew that if I really wanted to grow, I had to embrace that challenge. That is where the second teaching comes in. Twaho Jetego. And that became more than a saying, it became my whole mindset. I had to step up and tell myself that no one could build my confidence for me, no one could ask questions for me, no one could overcome my fears but me. Those were responsibilities that belonged only to me. So throughout the internship, I intentionally pushed myself to contribute during meetings, volunteer for presentations, ask thoughtful questions, and seek feedback from my supervisors. And with every project, I became more confident. With every presentation, I became more comfortable speaking professionally. And with every challenge, I learned that growth comes from action, not comfort. And participating in these projects taught me a lot, whether it was creativity, collaborating with others, or just observing the leaders around me. These leaders taught me that leadership isn't about having the loudest voice. It's people who listen carefully, encourage collaboration, and focus on helping everyone succeed together. And that leadership style really reminds me once again of the saying "Sa Nekai Bike Hojon." True leadership creates harmony, it creates trust, it strengthens relationships, and it helps people grow together instead of competing against one another. On the other hand, outside of work, Kyoto became one of my greatest teachers itself. Whether I was walking through temples, exploring historic neighborhoods, experiencing local traditions, or just simply observing everyday life, reminded me to slow down and appreciate the present moment. And with these experiences, they reinforced something I had always been taught, which is growing up that learning doesn't only happen inside classrooms or workspaces, that sometimes our greatest lessons come from paying attention to the people, places, and cultures around us. Whether it was working as a team with my colleagues, connecting with nature at the Nara forest, or just exploring around with my friends, this internship challenged me professionally and it transformed me personally. I became more independent, more adaptable, and more confident in my own abilities. And now, as I prepare for my future career in athletic training and sports medicine, I know these lessons will stay with me. Every patient, every athlete, every coworker deserves to be treated with respect, compassion, and understanding. And that reflects At the same time, I know that becoming the professional I hope to be depends on my willingness to continue learning, improving, and accepting responsibility for my own growth. And that reflects Tanhu Ocheteko. Now, finally looking back, I realized that my internship wasn't simply about learning about business and marketing. It was about discovering that the values I carried from home could travel with me across the world. Although Japan and the Navajo Nation are separated by thousands of miles, I found familiar principles of respect, humility, community, discipline, and harmony. That reminded me that while cultures may look different on the surface, many of our deepest values are shared. My experience at Ciee for One taught me new professional skills, but it also strengthened my appreciation for my own identity. It showed me that I can honor where I come from while embracing new cultures and new ways of thinking. And perhaps the greatest lesson I will take home is this: to live a meaningful life, I must strive to walk in beauty with others through Sa'av Nagai Bike Hojo. But every step along that path begins with my own effort through Ta Wo Ojitego. If it is to be, it is up to me. Ahiha. Thank you.